Hey guys, today I want to talk about an email that I received yesterday from a player, and he had a question for me. It was something that he saw on television, and he was wondering about a specific bat that they were showing. So here's the clip. He ended up emailing it to me, and what it was on was MLB Network. And it's Kevin Long and Billy Ripken, and they're talking about a couple drills and a couple of different bats and things that some of the New York Yankees use to help them in specific areas of their hitting. And for this example, they're talking about Alex Rodriguez and how he uses a shorter, heavier bat to work on getting his hands inside the ball and working the ball the other way on pitches that are inside. So I actually have no problem with this drill, and I've done drills like this. I've used small bats before. So absolutely, if you want to use a small bat to work on letting the ball get deeper and not going after the ball, but instead letting it get to you and working on keeping your hands inside, that's fine. I think there's a lot of drills out there that'll help players. Some are better for certain players than others, but you can definitely try drills and see if they work. There's no question about that. The one thing, though, that I saw in this video when I was watching it, and I want to break it down, is kind of a misconception that I see a lot of players and coaches and even people that play baseball and were good players, when they explain something or show something, they don't always show it or explain it the right way. And a lot of times they think this is what happens when they were hitting, even when they were playing back when they played, but it doesn't actually happen that way. And I want to make sure that players don't get confused when they see this, because I've seen some really great hitters talk about what they do, and it's totally the opposite. A lot of times what someone feels that they're doing isn't what really is happening, and I don't want players to get confused when they see this. So I'm going to play this clip right here, and we'll see what I'm talking about, and then we'll break it down a little bit right after I play it.
That's the whole point of that bat, is I'm going to keep that thing about a foot away from your body. So really tight to your body, which is going to cause you to, if you could demonstrate, start to take your swing and stay in tight, which is causing you to stay in tight and really back the ball up and get compact to the baseball.
So he's got a shorter, heavier bat, and you like doing soft toss, you crowd him. You make him work to get to the bat or the ball like this.
And the best part about this drill, Bill, is most of the balls that he hits end up going the other way. So he's really backing him up, fighting to get to it, okay, and he can really explode and swing pretty much at game speed.
Okay, so the thing that got me intrigued when I saw this was the swing mechanics of getting inside the baseball. Now, I understand that he's just showing it for a television show, and maybe he's over exaggerating, and I highly doubt, I know that this isn't how he swung when he played, because this swing wouldn't be very successful, and it wouldn't be successful for a couple of reasons. But the real reason I wanted to show this is because a lot of times I will see people that know a lot about hitting, were great hitters, but they'll show this type of move to stay inside the ball, and I'll see kids see this, and then they'll try to start mimicking this idea, because this is what they think of when they think of stay inside the ball, when this isn't the action that you would use. A good hitter would never stay inside the ball this way. So I'll show you again. We'll go in slow motion, and you can see how he really is pulling his hands, and he's really pushing the bat through, and his hands are moving in a downward direction from his shoulder down, 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 almost to his front kneecap. And I'll ask players a lot of times, the guys that are struggling, to show me what inside the ball means, because a lot of players say, I'm really not staying inside the ball, and I'm trying, and they'll show, this is the exact move that people will show when they try to stay inside the ball, because they think, my hands have to be inside, and they move them up against their chest like this. Swinging in this manner, you're going to have a lot of problems. First, you're not going to have bat speed. You won't have any bat speed at all, because you're pushing the hands through. Your swing isn't working together. You're not using your bottom half, and you're not getting bat lag to allow the bat to be the last thing that really comes through and get bat speed from using your body in unison. This is more of an upper body kind of pushy swing. Your bat path, if you can see it, it never really gets in the hitting zone. It's moving. If he continued to swing and didn't stop where he thought he was going to make contact, the bat's moving downward, and it would continue to move down this way, and it would really just cut through the zone. So it would come out and then cut across the plate, and it's really not covering any of the plate. The bat never gets into the hitting zone except for maybe 1/10 of a second there, not even a tenth of a second, and then it would have been moving straight through and then back up. So there's a lot of things that would be wrong with this swing. And once again, I'm not saying that this is how Billy would swing, but I think it's important that when I've seen so many kids and coaches show this type of stay inside the ball swing, that if we show it to kids and to younger players, they're going to start to try to emulate that swing and be very unsuccessful in inside pitches. So what I want to show you now is the correct way to stay inside the ball, how some of the best players in the world do it, how all major league players do it, and all successful hitters do it. And you'll be able to see the difference and what really happens, because a lot of people get this confused. And a lot of people think that this is the way that the hands and the bat and the body work when you're trying to stay inside the ball, when it's really not true. Okay, so I'll show a couple of videos here. The first one is Robinson Cano. I just picked a couple of random shots that I thought we could see what was happening. And here's an inside fastball. And this is the way that all hitters hit. All major league hitters, all good hitters hit this way. And this is how you really stay inside the ball. So it's not a hands push across the chest type of stay inside the ball that a lot of people try to do, especially a lot of younger players and a lot of coaches think. There's a few things that help to get the hands inside the ball, or that have to happen to get them inside the ball. So we'll go into this. Here's the stride. And the first thing you'll notice is that the back elbow and the back knee work together. So it gets the body working together. It's not a hands start and push this way across the chest to stay inside. It's not a hands action that keeps the hands inside the ball. It's your body. Your body is really clearing the way to get your hands inside. So the back elbow and the back knee start to move. You'll see the back elbow dropping in, and you see the knee, the back knee starting to rotate. And if we keep playing it, you'll see that now the back elbow is here. The hands haven't pushed anywhere. So the hands are not pushing. They're just staying back, waiting for the body, for the back elbow and the knee to start to rotate the body to allow the hands to stay inside. If we push a little bit further, now we get a really good shot of the back elbow, how it has gone from here and it has dropped in to here while the knee helps the body rotate, and you're rotating and the hands are still back, and it has allowed the bat has not pushed downward this way. The bat has just gone pretty much backwards, and it's getting more behind you in this angle. It's not pushing out in front of your chest. So the back elbow is really the key, but the back elbow and back knee have to work together. The body has to work in unison to rotate. That's where you get bat speed from. You're using your body to rotate, and the bat is behind you. And the bat is the last thing that's going to come through. You're going to get bat lag, and then the bat will be the last thing that comes through the hitting zone. If we go one more further, now we can see that the back elbow is fully dropped down into its slot position. The knee has rotated. The back foot, the shoelace is pointing towards the pitcher. And now the bat is going to be the last thing that comes through. After all this energy and force been built up from this swing, well, now the bat's the last thing that comes through. And if you can watch, the differences are the hand and bat path. The bat is in the hitting zone for a long time. Once it gets here, it's in the hitting zone and it's going to stay there the whole time. There's a nice natural arc to it. The bat isn't swinging down and across the zone. The hands aren't pushing out in front of the chest. You can see the body is rotated fully. The belly button is towards the pitcher. This shoulder and hip have rotated backwards, so it's a nice rotation. There's no pushing it where the body is in the way and the hands are trying to push out in front of the chest and nothing is working together. And there's really no bat speed. There's really not anything going on. If we keep going, you can see how the bat stays there. It gets a little bit blurry, and that's staying through the ball. Getting the bat on path early by getting the back elbow and knee to work together, and then the bat just stays on path. It's a beautiful swing. That's why Robinson Cano hits over 300, hits for power. The body's rotating the right way. The elbow's getting inside. And that's the key for staying inside the ball. It's not the hands pushing against the chest. It's the elbow working and getting down into this little area right here while the hands stay back. And that gets you inside. And now as you rotate, this ball is a little bit in. And if it was even further in, it'd be the same exact thing. He would just catch it a little bit more out front. Here's a clip of Mark Reynolds, and we'll go through it quickly since we only have a few more minutes. But if you notice, if you just watch his back elbow, watch the direction the back goes in, watch his hands. There's a lot of things that you'll notice. As the back elbow drops in and he starts to rotate, his knee and his back elbow and his knee are working together. Here's his back elbow. The hands are still back. They haven't moved anywhere. They're not pushing. And you can see the bat and the angle of the bat work, and it goes rearward, really. It goes back to the catcher to get behind him as the elbow gets down into this area. And you can see the knee still turning. And now the bat is lagged, and now it starts making its way. So you can see the total opposite of the direction of the bat from the MLB Network bat path, hand path, elbow, body. Everything is different than how it actually works. And you see there's no push here. Now, no doubt Mike Reynolds does strike out a lot, but it doesn't change the fact that he swings very similar as far as the body's concerned to a lot of the other guys in the major leagues. And here the bat gets in the zone. Bat's traveling upwards. So I'd like to get into it more with more hitters, but I'm just about out of time. The big takeaway from it is don't always, I know a lot of players, they'll listen to their coaches, and because a coach shows them something, they just say, okay, that's the way it has to be done. And there's a big misconception with the hands inside the baseball. So I know it's tough to watch film, and not everyone has, a lot of slow motion major league films, but that's one of the reasons I want to throw some up here so people can kind of see the way the swing works. And I've been around a lot of baseball, younger level baseball, and the way it's taught in Little League and high school and even college is a lot different than the way I've seen it taught at higher levels and how players swing at higher levels. And that's my main goal, is to kind of show younger players how it really works and give them these videos and stuff like that so that you guys can kind of understand it and start to learn more just by watching. So I hope this helped. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.